Hello, welcome to the progress video number 3 of my project Certificate Verification using the Blockchain Technology. My name is Syed Ashar Rizvi and this project is supervised by Mr. Salih Ismail. So before we dive into the concepts and the theory part of the video, I would like to tell you guys that I've named my application, my project, Dokchain, which comes from the name document and change, which comes from blockchain. So if that makes sense. So I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible and not going into much technicalities of the project right now, which I'm keeping it for the phase 2, which is the project number 2, which would be next trimester. So right now I would be covering these kind of contents right in this video and keeping all the technicalities in the next phase. So we haven't spoke about the data storage system and what kind of storage we would be using in this project to save the application data. So we would be using IPFS system. So what is IPFS? IPFS stands for Interplanetary File System, and it's an open source peer-to-peer distributed protocol file system for all the computing devices. IPFS allows the document to be stored locally and it is shared with the user when it is requested. Contract with data structure that links to the document path URL. The user, after proper authentication and security verification, will have the access to the document and he or she can retrieve the data and the document for his access. So how does the IPFS work and what's the mechanism behind it? So whenever we upload a document or a certificate on IPFS, it is uploaded within all the blocks in it and it is given a unique security called cryptographic hash. Then IPFS removes all the duplication across the network, while each network node stores only the content it is interested in, plus some indexing information that helps figure out which node is storing what. So when you look up a file to view or download, you are asking the network to find the nodes that are storing the content behind the file's hash. You don't need to remember the hash though, because every file can be found by a human readable name using the decentralized naming system called IPNS. So in this age, we all can accept to a fact that we all like using stuff which is less complex and not too complicated. So my main aim would be to develop a website with very easy navigation and less complexity. And the next thing the user would have that he or she can scan the QR code on the certificate using his cell phone and he or she would be redirected to the website with all the blockchain information. Here is the prototype workflow of the whole process. It includes about 6 to 7 steps about the whole procedure to go on. So let's start with the school or the university issuing the certificate. So when the university or the school issues the certificate, it is gone through the Dokchain, which is our project, which hashes the whole value in the document and stores it in the blockchain, which gives out the QR code and e-certificate, which is then sent back to the school or the institution, which is then forwarded to the student, and the certificate is even stamped with the QR code which is provided to the student with the e-certificate. In this system, we would be developing an Ethereum blockchain to store the transactions about the digital certificate, which would be issued by the academic institution and verified by the requester. It would be a shared distributed transaction ledger which would allow the proof of existence of the digital certificate issued by the academic institution. The users can access and store documents on their IPFS storage and exchange the documents with the requester. And we would provide the website for the best user experience possible. So by now we already have an idea about how advanced the blockchain is. It is already from the future. But what's the future implementation in our project? What could be done to make it better? So in our project, we could develop an Android or an iOS applications which could come in very handy to store and validate the digital certificates. We could even develop a real-time notification to notify the requests made by the users. So here we are about done with the concepts and theory of the project, and now in the next phase we would be talking about the technicalities and the real-time process of this project. I really appreciate you being here and taking the time out to watch this video. Thank you so much.